Kazakhstan has chosen the multi-vector integration. Its trends, collisions, and prospects are coming up in the Single Market program.
In today's program, in the interest of Central Asia, RES market in the EAEU, trade and logistics solution at the highest level, bringing the light and money, phosphorus for export. Hello, this is Pavel Koktishev, and you're watching Single Market. Globalization is experiencing a new stage today, but whatever adjustments are made to this process, regional cooperation is still relevant. Kazakhstan is located in Central Asia. Therefore, the vector of partnership in the interest of the region is one of its priorities. How are the current trade and economic relations built between Kazakhstan and its Central Asian neighbor, the Republic of Tajikistan? Yerkebulan Bekmugambet was inquiring into this. In the Tajik list of exporting countries, Kazakhstan ranks second, even ahead of China. 19% of all imported goods on the Tajik market are supplied from Kazakhstan. At the same time, the dynamics of commodity exchange between the countries keep a positive trend. The volume of mutual trade for the first half of 2017 amounted to more than $525 million, 30% higher in 2017 compared to 2016. According to marketers, the potential for turnover may exceed $1 billion. There are all prerequisites for such an optimistic forecast, as today Tajikistan diversifies its economy and sets for itself three strategically important tasks. The first one is securing the energy independence, the second, way out of the communications dead end, and transformation of the country into the transit country, and the third, securing the food independence. And our Kazakhstani entrepreneurs could take a part, where possible, in the fulfillment of these three tasks. Within the first task, ensuring the energy security, Tajikistan implements major infrastructure projects. And this opens up great export opportunities for the Kazakhstani manufacturers of electrical products. For example, such as transformers. They are successfully produced at the enterprises of the holding company Alugium Electric. One of them is located in Almaty, the other in Kintau. By the way, products from the South Kazakhstan region are already well known in Tajikistan. Every year, we supply more than 100 pieces of transformers to the Republic of Tajikistan. Now we have joint projects where we install our transformers in important projects implemented by the Republic of Tajikistan. The second strategic task of Tajikistan is to increase the transit potential. We are talking about the construction of roads and other infrastructure facilities. This prospect requires the Republic to expand the supplies of road construction materials. In addition, currently Tajikistan is renovating its railway rolling stock and the fleet of locomotives. And large machinery building enterprises of Kazakhstan take an active part in this process. In particular, Elektrovoz Kirastru Zautu company, which manufactures locomotives of the 5th generation TE-33A Evolution series. Along with locomotives, Tajikistan is also showing an active interest in automotive products. The Republic concluded a contract with the Kazakh company Sari Arka Autoprom. Under its terms, 2,000 vehicles will be delivered to Tajikistan for a total amount of $24 million. The first batch of 55 cars to the Kazakhstani assembly was delivered in October 2017. The third, no less important issue of food independence is tackled by Tajikistan in part at the account of imports of foodstuffs from Kazakhstan. Some of the most demanded export products are grain and flour. Recently, the list was replenished with Kazakhstani candies, which found their place in the Tajik market due to the complication of logistics of importing the similar products from Ukraine. Another export novel of Kazakhstan in the Tajik food list is fish products. We supply fillets, steaks, and dried seafood. We want to be represented at this market. A prospective direction to increase exports from Kazakhstan to Tajikistan could be pharmaceuticals, especially as some well-known Kazakhstani producers, for example, Him Farm Company, have already had an experience in supplying medicines to this republic. We were represented at the market of Tajikistan earlier. There are expectations if we're talking only about Him Farm. Then we can start from approximately $500,000 initially and in the future to increase well up to possibly $1.5 to $2 million per year, a good potential. In the perspective, the pharmaceutical giant plans not only to increase supplies. Today, Tajikistan is interested in creating in its territory a joint venture for the production of antibiotics. This project is under discussion. If it is implemented, Kazakhstan and Tajikistan will enter a new level of cooperation, and this will be a good impetus for expanding trade and economic ties between the countries that are located in the same Central Asian region. Yerkebulan Bekmuhanbet Nijat Yusupov, specially for the single market. On the one hand, an already formed during several decades base of resources. It allows for the limitless use of traditional sources of energy. On the other hand, world trends on low-carbon development of economy and active inclusion into the system of generation of renewable sources of energy. These are the realities faced today by the countries of the Eurasian Economic Union. How the market of renewable sources of energy is developing in these conditions, we'll find out from our observer, Alexander Galiev. Situation with the development of renewable sources of energy in the Eurasian Economic Union space looks not straightforward. There are several aspects which either restrain the dynamics or impact it. The first one is the cost of traditional energy. It is in a very competitive area today in some EAEU countries. For example, in Kazakhstan, to the experts' opinion, the cost of energy generated by coal is 7 to 8 tenge per kilowatt. To compare, a kilowatt produced with the wind power is 3 times more expensive, and a sunny kilowatt is even more than that. At the same time, the existing traditional facilities in Kazakhstan are capable of meeting the increasing demand in electricity. In addition, competition for renewable energy sources can be constituted by alternative generation methods, which are also clean. For example, extraction of methane from coal seams and its utilization. The next factor, RES, if their advantages are evaluated objectively, are an unstable source of electricity. To change the situation, it is necessary to develop a profile infrastructure. For example, to build enterprises that will produce products and equipment that can make renewable energy sources more efficient. And now about the prospects for renewable energy sources in the EAEU countries. Given the realities of the economy and the reserves of traditional resources, coal and gas, renewable energy sources will take an insignificant share in the general generation system for a long time to come. Nevertheless, their growth is planned. Russia. The share of renewable energy sources here is about 1%. It can increase to 11% by 2030 at the account of creation of specialized clusters. One of these is being formed currently in the territory of the Altai Republic, where 5 solar power stations have already been built, and another 4 will start generating energy by 2020. Belarus. Of all the EAEU countries at the moment, the highest share of RES is recorded in this republic, 2.1%. In this case, in 2 years, it can grow up to 6%. One of the large RES clusters is formed in the Mogilev region, where they plan to increase the capacity up to 115 megawatts by 2020. Kazakhstan. Experts believe that an impetus to the development of renewable energy sources will be given by the International Exhibition Expo, which was held in 2017 in the capital of the Republic under the Energy of the Future motto. As for specific plans, these are to increase the share of renewable energy sources by 2020 in 3 times, and by 2030, 10-fold. At the same time, infrastructure will be developed. A plant will be built near Astana to produce water lithium-ion accumulating batteries using Kazakhstani developments. And instead of a resume, countries of the Eurasian integration have a long way to go before they can approach a world where harmony begins with pure energy. This is it from me. Alexander Galiev was with you. For example, renewable sources are nowadays more expensive than just burning coal. Therefore, it is important to decide the ways of financing and how you can draw these additional sources to the system. I might say that the countries have a little different conditions. It would be better to cooperate. It would help for a faster and easier transition instead of reinventing the wheel. These many things can be combined, put together, and accordingly, you can move faster along this way. One should understand that almost all innovations require cost. But it will pay off, and these will be clean technologies. And you, for example, in the future, your children will not go to see a doctor very often, just because they will be breathing fresh air. The businessmen are humans too. They have got children and grandchildren. and God forbid that their children and grandchildren were able to meet a snow leopard, other wild animals, the environment, and not only concrete, asphalt, and I don't know, a desert. So in these terms, I believe we can call for their human nature, not only for a bank account. In terms of income, there are a lot of researches so far which prove that it is more profitable to invest in the new, innovative technology, because even if initially it is more expensive, it lasts longer in the market, and it gives a larger share of return on capital. Trade is a process depending on solving many issues. As the international experience shows, apart from optimal transit and production of competitive products, expansion of trade is much dependent on the developed infrastructure of storage and distribution of cargoes. What is an A-class trade and logistics center, and what standards shall it meet? We'll find out from the following material. The one-stop shop principle. Today, this is the most optimal option for the transportation of commercial cargoes. The essence of it is that a client receives all the services in one place and in full. It is on this principle that the transport and logistics centers of A-class work all over the world. In Kazakhstan, the first center of this class appeared in 2015 in Astana. It was erected in the framework of the formation of a national network of transport and logistics centers. Real estate development company Continental Logistics, created on the basis of public-private partnership with the participation of KTZ Express, is responsible for the implementation of this project. Our task is to create an infrastructure, show our neighbors, all countries, that we are ready to accept any number of containers, wagons, cargoes, and due to this, to increase the transit potential of our republic. The Trade and Logistics Center connects 9 macro regions of Kazakhstan on the radial principle. It is located on one of the main Republican highways on the Astana-Karaganda route, in close proximity to the bypass road and the railway station. At the same time, the center can also accept and store cargoes for subsequent shipment by sea. We are in the KTZ Express group. We work very tightly. They have the Aktau seaport in management, and so if a customer has a need, we'll do everything to accept the cargo and to send it over the Caspian. Today, Astana TLC is the largest profile facility in Central Asia. Its total area is 49 hectares. This area includes 2 large warehouses, a container terminal, a trade and distribution center, and all the services that participate in the cargo execution process: customs control, phytosanitary and veterinary, and consumer protection. If earlier, say, all these bodies were located in different places, they were dispersed around the city, the company had to travel from one body to another in order to implement all the procedures that must be done before submitting a declaration. But now, thanks to the fact that all representatives of these bodies are located here, in one place, in the TLC, all the procedures are much faster. Management of cargoes in the center's territory is performed through the web portal of the TLC, and this web portal can be integrated into the client's computer system at the client's request. This minimizes expenses for the clients. There is no need to employ a lot of staff in each city. They can simply delegate to us the full function and we'll perform it on behalf of the company. We'll accept under a power of attorney, we'll clear with customs, store with ourselves, deliver it to the trading point, print out cargo waybills, transport documents, put stickers if necessary, and the client will see all these actions online on his computer. Depending on the nature of the goods, their storage conditions, 2 variants of storage facilities are provided, with certain temperature regimes. Dry warehouse, it stores consumer goods which do not require a certain temperature regime. The second warehouse is climatic. We store products that require a certain temperature regime there, from 0 to +6, from 0 to -18. There are cameras of -24. There are controlled atmosphere storage cameras, adjustable gas medium, up to +13. The strategy of Continental logistics companies specifies the vector of development through the formation of an international transport and logistics hub. One of its promising directions is the exchange of goods between the markets of Russia and Central Asia. In this chain, the TLC will play the role of a transit point. Within the framework of the new project, the Central Asian Trade House was established jointly with Uzbek partners. Now we have a good railway tariff with Central Asia, with Uzbekistan, with Tajikistan. We take their goods and set ourselves the goal to deliver goods to Russia. Here, at the expense of this transshipment terminal, we will expand our transit potential. Under the program of creating a network of A-class transport and logistics centers in Kazakhstan, construction of a similar TLC in the south of the Republic, in Shymkent, is underway. Another project will be implemented in the west, in the city of Aktobe. Experts note that the appearance of such international class facilities puts the logistics of transit freight flows on new rails, mobile and multimodal. And this is exactly one of the conditions for the infrastructure development of our republic. According to experts, one of the most promising trends in the industry of Kazakhstan is chemical. This is due to three factors: rich reserves of raw materials, best technologies, and demand in the export market. One of such examples is phosphoric production, which is now being effectively developed in the south of the republic. Traditionally, phosphorus is divided into four types: red, black, metal, and white. Unrefined white phosphorus is also called yellow phosphorus. This crystal matter melts at plus 43 degrees Celsius and boils at 280 degrees. Despite all the risks associated with production and transport, yellow phosphorus is one of the most valuable export products. It is used in agriculture and the chemical industry. In Kazakhstan, it is produced only by one enterprise, New Zhymbal Phosphorus Plant, which is part of the Kaz Phosphate Holding Company.
The
main type of product that is manufactured at the New Zhymbal Phosphate Plant is yellow phosphorus. The next stage of conversion is thermal phosphorus acid, and the next sodium triphosphate and sodium hexametaphosphate. Annually, the New Zhymbal Phosphate Plant produces 120,000 tons of yellow phosphorus and the same volume of end products of yellow phosphorus deep processing, phosphorus acid, and sodium tripolyphosphate. The share of local content in these products reaches 80%. The necessary elements for the manufacturing of yellow phosphorus, phosphates, quartz rock, and coke are supplied to the New Zhymbal Phosphorus Plant by domestic suppliers, and only the fourth element, calcined salt, is imported from Russia. Out of 13 tons of phosphate, only 1 ton of phosphorus is obtained, which also contains 70 kilograms of accompanying waste, sludge. Before this sludge was stored in special warehouses. Today, thanks to the implementation of waste-free production technologies, this sludge is not just fully utilized, it is used in the manufacture of ready-to-use products. Yellow phosphorus is a flammable and poisonous product. That is why special attention is paid to the safety of its transportation. In order to prevent auto-ignition, phosphorus is stored and transported under a layer of water or a calcium chloride solution. In addition, the railway wagons which transport this product are technically inspected throughout the entire trip, as well as the safety seals. By the way, domestically produced yellow phosphorus is exported abroad. The main share of exports is delivered to Europe and the United States. Sometimes we export to Japan, once exported to India, but the main consumers are, of course, in Western and Eastern Europe. The largest consumer of Kazakhstan's phosphorus is the Czech Republic. In this Eastern European country, a joint Kazakhstan-Czech enterprise, hexametaphosphate, was established, which specializes in the deep processing of yellow phosphorus. One of the most prospective goals is entering world markets with new competitive products. Most likely, these products will include phosphorus trichloride, phosphoric oxide, phosphorus pentasulfide. For the flagman company of Kazakhstan's chemical industry, this will become an additional catalyzer for boosting export volumes. That's all for today. I am Pavel Koktashev. Let me remind you that you can find all our stories at www.kazakh-tv.kz. See you in the next Single Market.